Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of The Charming Empire, along Soshi's route. If you would like to hear Kei Yoshimina's route, please visit Rob's Romantic Gaming channel. A link will be in the description and in the cards. As for our deal with Soshi here, he's totally gone off the deep end. Completely paranoid, can't trust anybody, he's throwing everybody in the dungeons, including our childhood friend Kagemitsu. So, killing him is still on the table. Well, let's see if we can pull him back from the edge or not. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. I can't believe you arrested Kagemitsu. It's hard enough choking those awful words out.
It couldn't be helped. I have no need for those who try to criticize me. He knew what he was in for.
Soshi, you're truly beyond repair. His own suspicion of everyone is driving him crazy. There doesn't seem to be any way to fix it either. Soshi, if you keep doing this, the country will crumble.
Huh, you speak nonsense.
He chuckles at me. His voice is colder than I've ever heard it. He sounds deranged.
As long as there is a leader, the country will not fall. There are always replacements or citizens.
There are really only so many citizens to go around?
Even if things do fall to disaster, it would be much more constructive to rebuild from scratch.
His voice chills me down to my very core. His eyes are looking at me, but he seems to only see through me like I don't exist. Soshi, was I wrong to ever believe he might return to his former self? This is not the Soshi I used to know. I have no idea who this person standing in front of me is. The only reason politicians exist is because of the people. Father always used to say that. Mother was always worried about you and Father, even after we went to the countryside. She was always worried you'd be lonely in a palace full of adults with no children. But no one, not even Father, was worthy of your trust. You thought if Father were gone, then you could take his position. So you made it look like he got sick, and you killed him yourself, didn't you? As long as he was out of the picture, the country will be yours to rule.
If that were the case, what would you do? You cannot kill me and you cannot stop me. Why? Because you will leave in 10 days to a country where you won't be able to reach me. You'll only be able to watch.
His vicious grin pierces through my chest. His words and gaze cut through me, splitting my heart clean in two.
How pitiful it is to have no power. Unable to resist, unable to fight. All you can do is let yourself be controlled by another.
Which is something he knows.
I am one of those who control. Being told what to do, how to act day in, day out. I just couldn't stand it.
He scrunches his face as if he's bringing up painful memories and clenches his fists. I don't know what kind of situations were forced on him, but whatever they may have been, they can't justify his actions now. That's why you killed Father? My blood boils instantly, and I find myself raising my hands to strike him, but he stops me before I can. He grabs my wrist with such strength that I hear my bones creak.
Can't forgive me. Even still, there's nothing you can do. Not even trying to hurt me will help.
Oh, such a pretty picture, though. My back hits the wall with a painful thud when he pushes me up against it. So, gee...
Let me tell you something. I have never once considered you, Father or Mother, to be my family. I've only ever seen you as complete strangers. What meaning could there possibly be in sharing only half a bloodline?
It's not about bloodlines. Father, Mother, and I have always thought of Soshi as our family.
I have never loved this country either. Its only purpose for existing is to make me happy. No more, no less. Once I'm done with it, I'll throw it away without thinking twice. However, it still has a purpose to me, so I won't just yet.
How can you throw your country away? What do you do? Just move away? You won't be emperor anymore. His fiercely beautiful yet deathly cold smile renders me silent. He leans close to my pale cold face.
You are the same. You are only a puppet bound to the strings I hold in my hands, doing whatever I please.
His cold fingertips brush against my trembling cheek. He slides them over my skin, down to my mouth, then down my neck.
I wonder what the final days of a puppet will be like, with no strings to guide her.
He whispers into my ear. I feel his breath on my ear, and it sends a shiver down my spine. His grip finally loosens, and he steps away from me.
If you want to go against me and kill me, then do as you will. If you can, that is.
His frigid voice is making me fight back tears. Even though I think he underestimates me, I can't say anything. I run out of his office and back to my room. My wrist, cheek, lip, neck, everywhere he touched burns. Even though his heart is as good as frozen, he leaves heat where he touched me. I run through the halls blind as I clench my eyes shut. Well, that didn't go well. The eastern sky begins to brighten. I barely slept a wink, and now the sun is rising. The day of my departure arrived sooner than expected. 10 days of Soshi's barbarous acts, and I could only watch. I stand at my window and look up at the calm morning sky and to the distant horizon. Now all that's left for me to do is leave this country. I wonder when I'll be able to return. A year? 10 years? Or will I ever be able to return at all? I don't know where I'm going, who will be there waiting for me, or when I'll come back. I can only do what I'm told. My brother only wants me to be a good little puppet for him. If there's one thing I know, it's that. But I can't leave the country now, even if I only have a minuscule amount of power, even if I can't do anything. I clench my fists as I look at the orange morning sky. I steady my trembling body and take a deep breath. Is it time to make another attempt? Have you seen the princess? What do you mean? She was just in her room, but now she's gone. You haven't seen her, have you? No, maybe she's taking care of something. Anyway, can you help me with this? We have less than 2 hours until departure. Are you serious? You should have told me sooner. If we don't hurry, we won't make it in time. I hear the maid scurry off. When I know they're out of sight, I come around the corner of the hallway. Good, they didn't notice me. I nearly ran into them, but luckily I avoided seeing them at the last minute. I was told not to leave my room under any circumstance. If anyone finds me, I'll be sent right back. Or maybe even to the dungeon. I was told to wait in my room until departure right after breakfast. This afternoon, I'm to take a carriage from the palace to the harbor. Servants have already gathered my belongings for me. Please rest until your departure, princess. I don't know when someone will come get you, so please do not leave your room. Yes, of course. I agreed with her happily, but I never thought for a second that I would actually do that. I spent the whole night thinking about it. I'll go see Soshi before I have to leave. I have to see him and put an end to this. I'll do whatever it takes. And we know what that might entail. The palace seems much more lively than usual, with everyone getting ready for my departure. It makes for a very tense day. Everyone is rushing around. It's difficult getting around them without getting caught, but I just can't wait around. I have to see him. I must put an end to this. I'm the only one who can. The past few days in the palace have been different. Everyone seems so afraid of Soshi. Those who voice their opinion to Soshi are put in jail, and those who are left can only do as he says for fear of sharing the same fate. There's no one left to talk back to him or give him advice. Everyone is too concerned with protecting themselves. The palace has fallen to Soshi's tyranny, and the people outside the palace walls grow more furious in their hatred of him. The water is spilling over, and there's no one to stop it. Kagemitsu is already locked up, and if I leave now, there'll be no one at all that can stop his barbarism. Before that happens, I have to... I gulp hard, clenching the dagger I've hidden in my kimono's chest pocket. Oh man. It was given to me as a child, when I didn't even understand the concept of self-defense. I never wanted to imagine plunging the tip of it into my brother's heart. But if there's no other way to stop him, I have to go through with it. I smack the tears out of my eyes and head for Soshi's room. With everyone in the palace busy, the hallway is left deathly silent. Hearing some commotion near my room, I stop in my tracks. I have to move silently so as not to be found. I tiptoe down the hall until I reach his door. It's so quiet that my own breath and heartbeat seem deafening. There's no time. I have to make up my mind. I take the dagger out, holding it so I can unsheath it at any moment. Hiding it in my sleeve, I put my hand on the doorknob. Please, don't let me get caught. I pray to myself as I open the door. When it's just a crack open, I hear a voice. No, Soshi isn't alone? But that voice, it can't be. Surprised to hear an unexpected voice, my hand slips. The door creaks, drawing the attention of the speaker to me. The tailor? What are you doing here? He was supposed to be imprisoned as a rebel. He could have escaped, but he seems much too calm for that to be true. Soshi continues to stare out the window. His calm composure gives him no hint of the cruelness I've grown used to. I stand there, unable to comprehend what's in front of me. Then the tailor smiles regretfully. I'm so sorry to have surprised you. I wasn't in a position to explain things to you. The plan stands as it is. Go along with the arrangements. Understood. Please forgive me, princess. The tailor pats me on the shoulders and leaves. Soshi refuses to face me, so I have no way of telling what kind of expression he wears. Soshi, what plan? What is going on?
Oh dear, I thought I told you to stay in your room.
He gives me a disappointed smile. It's a calm smile, one that I haven't seen for some time.
Although it is like you to do this. Always reckless, stubborn, and single-minded.
Soshi, what is the meaning of this? Please tell me.
Right. This is the end of our story. I should at least be honest as that fox.
The end? His voice is kind, the same voice I remember him for. It's just like what I heard in my dream of him the night of the storm. He steps away from the window and rests his hand on his desk, looking at me. The gentle sunshine gives him a calming aura.
You believed I had murdered Father, didn't you?
Yes.
In a way, you were not wrong. Father did not die of an illness. I couldn't protect him. It was the same to me as if I had killed him myself.
Not even close. What do you mean?
There were people who found Father's integrity deplorable. Sensing there were men like that, he sent you and Mother away.
So he didn't send us to the countryside because he hated us?
Of course not. He loved you both very much.
However, Father didn't know when someone would try to overthrow him. Trying to keep us out of danger, Father had no choice but to send us far away. Father... Mother never once spoke badly of him. She must have known exactly what he was trying to do. Why didn't she say that to me and her sister then?
In the end, he was right. After he sent you away, people started acting more suspiciously. Good friends of the day before were his enemies the next, and then it happened.
Soshi's expression twists painfully. He clutches his trembling fists as he recalls the terrible memory.
One night when Father, the minister, and I were at dinner, Father suddenly collapsed. We called for a doctor right away, but I knew this was no normal illness he was suffering, even at that age. This must be hard for you.
No, it's fine. Please, continue. I want to know the truth, no matter how horrible it may be. I urge him to continue in a raspy voice. He hesitates for just a moment, but obliges.
After that day, Father's condition got worse. It was clear someone had poisoned him. The minister never even looked for who did it.
Why not?
Why would the culprit send out a search team to catch himself?
So the person who poisoned Father was...
Without a doubt. After he died, they didn't grieve at all, and instead insisted on teaching me to be a perfect politician. As a naive child, I believed them. I even thanked them. However, they only wanted me to be a puppet for them. I was a tool to them that they would throw away whenever it best suited their needs. I was perfect for the role. I'm sure it was easy for them, too. I was a defenseless child that didn't know the first thing about politics. I followed their every command, barter with this country, invade that country, and never once acted of my own accord. Until one day, when I felt something was wrong after attacking a country.
He suddenly stops talking. He hesitates with a terribly painful look in his eyes. His shoulders tremble. I run over to him without thinking about it. I put my hands on his, and he wraps his fingers around mine. He didn't refuse my touch. On the contrary, he took my hands in gently, like he was begging for it. Soshi... I was so terribly wrong about him. Why couldn't I trust him? Why couldn't I believe him? It wasn't the boy from my past that I loved. It was the man right here in front of me. He's bad-tempered and hard to approach, but deep down he's truly kind. I should have realized there was no way someone like that could have done terrible things and actually believed in them. Please, tell me more. He nods quietly. Okay. I guess everybody really does get 15 chapters. We just didn't have any choices for a long time. Alright, well, I'm imagining the next episode is the last one that we'll get with him. Because unfortunately, we cannot read the endings as Dogenzaka Labs have forbidden it, and I could get copyright strikes and lose my channel if I do that sort of thing. So I hope to see you in that next video to see the rest of what we can with Soshi. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.